My precious child, hear the resonance of my voice piercing through the chaos of your mind right now. Stop striving for just a moment. Take a deep breath and let my words be the anchor your weary soul has been desperately searching for. You have been running against a furious wind, fighting battles in the quiet corners of your life where no one else can see. But I see you. I have never stopped looking at you. I know the exact weight of the burden that is currently crushing your spirit. I see the situation standing before you, towering like an immovable mountain, casting a dark shadow over your days and stealing your rest at night. I know about the tears you have cried when the doors were closed, the silent prayers you have whispered in sheer desperation, and the exhaustion that has settled deep into your bones. You feel as though you are wandering in an endless wilderness, surrounded by impossibilities, wondering if anyone truly understands the depth of your struggle. I do. I comprehend every fraction of your pain, and I have stepped into your atmosphere today to deliver a single, unshakable truth. You are not walking through this storm alone. When the night seems endless and the shadows of your circumstances stretch long, I want you to lift your eyes. I am God on the horizon. I am the first light of dawn that shatters the longest, coldest night. As surely as the sun rises to conquer the darkness, my love and my deliverance are breaking into your reality at this very second. Right now, as you listen to this message, my presence is wrapping around you like a warm, impenetrable shield. I am extending my hand to you. Reach out and take it in your spirit. I am not a distant observer watching you struggle from afar. I am right beside you in the fire. I am in the hospital room. I am in the empty bank account. I am in the shattered relationship. I am in the center of your anxiety. Wherever you are hurting, I am there, actively moving, actively holding you together when you feel like falling apart. Do not let the harshness of your current reality convince you that you have been abandoned. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe that this trial is your final destination, that you have been left behind to figure it all out by yourself. That is a lie. You are my beloved masterpiece, created with divine intention. There is no force in this universe, no mistake in your past, and no obstacle in your present that could ever separate you from my fierce, unrelenting love. Rest in this profound truth today. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to know how the pieces will fall into place. You only need to know that the architect of the universe is holding the blueprint of your life. Breathe in the aroma of my peace. Let the frantic racing of your mind slow down. You have carried this agonizing weight for far too long. It is time to let it go. It is time to let me take the lead. What I am offering you today is not merely a poetic sentiment or a temporary psychological comfort. It is a cosmic decree. It is an unbreakable covenant from the sovereign Lord of all creation. Listen to me carefully. I possess the ultimate authority to rewrite your reality. I am the God who commands the oceans to split, who orders the mountains to crumble into dust, and who swings wide open the iron doors that mankind has slammed shut. And out of all the galaxies, out of all the billions of souls on this earth, I am actively choosing to unleash that magnificent power on your behalf. I am not just capable of helping you, I am fiercely committed to doing so. Bring your most desperate prayer requests and lay them at my feet right now. Do not hold back the ugly details or the impossible scenarios. I am calling your faith to rise from the ashes. I am commanding your spirit to awaken and receive the manifestation of your miracle today. There is absolutely no adversary too dominant, no financial ruin too deep, no medical diagnosis too terminal, and no emotional trauma too shattered for me to completely overturn. I am the master of reversals. While you are looking at a dead end, I am already paving a multi-lane highway through the wilderness. While you are staring at a brick wall, I am actively dismantling it brick by brick. I am fighting for you in realms you cannot even see with your physical eyes. Right at this very moment, angelic forces have been dispatched on your behalf. The atmosphere around your life is shifting. My power is infinitely greater than the sum total of every adversity that has ever crossed your path. Therefore, I command fear to release its suffocating grip on your throat. Refuse to allow depression, anxiety, or sorrow to enslave your mind any longer. If you feel battered by the relentless waves of life, come and collapse in my embrace. I am fully prepared to snap every yoke of bondage and lift every heavy burden from your tired shoulders. But hear my instruction clearly. You must fortify your mind. You must not surrender your inner sanctuary to despair. When the attacks multiply, when the financial letters arrive, when the family conflicts erupt, you must open your mouth and use the weapon of your voice. You must stand tall in the middle of your living room, in your car, or wherever you are right now, and declare with audacious confidence, "My God fights for me like a victorious warrior. I am shielded by the Most High. No weapon forged against me, my family, or my future will ever prosper." Speak my words into the empty spaces of your life. Speak them with raw, unfiltered faith, and watch how I respond. I will rush into your circumstances like a flood. I will hear your faintest cry, and I will scatter your enemies in 7 different directions. I will comfort you with a love so profound, it will physically heal the aches in your chest. Close your eyes right now. Envision my light surrounding you. Tell me that you believe. Whisper it from your lips. The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. As you make this declaration, a supernatural transaction is taking place. You are trading your weakness for my infinite strength. You have felt trapped for a long time, assuming there was no way out of this labyrinth, but I am preparing to show you precisely how I dismantle the impossible. I am about to reveal the sacred methods I use to pull you out of the deep waters, step by step, grace by grace. You have cried out to me, asking how this impossible mountain will ever be moved. Allow me to unveil the mystery of my deliverance. Allow me to show you the 5 distinct ways I am orchestrating your breakthrough right at this very moment. First, I rescue you by giving you a heavenly perspective. When you are standing in the middle of a dark valley, the shadows are all you can see. The problem becomes a towering giant, consuming your waking thoughts and haunting your dreams. It feels like the entire universe has collapsed upon your chest. But I sit above the circle of the earth. When you look to me, your God on the horizon, I lift your spirit to my vantage point. From the horizon, the giant that terrified you is nothing more than a fleeting shadow. I do not just see your current pain, I see the glorious purpose it is forging within you. I see the magnificent solution that is already rushing toward you. With my perspective, the problem instantly begins to shrink, not because the facts have changed, but because the truth of my sovereignty has swallowed it whole. Second, I deliver you by downloading transcendent wisdom directly into your spirit. Every labyrinth has an exit, and I am the architect who drew the map. You have exhausted yourself trying to figure everything out with limited human logic. Your mind is spinning in endless circles, analyzing scenarios until you are paralyzed. Stop. Your understanding is finite, but my wisdom is a fathomless ocean. When you ask me, I will drop sudden clarity into your mind. I will show you the exact sequence of steps to take. I will bring divine illumination to the most chaotic, tangled situations in your life. This wisdom will come as a quiet whisper in the night, a sudden knowing in your gut, or a word spoken through a stranger. Do not rely on your own brilliant strategies. Rely on my perfect guidance. Third, I sustain you with inexhaustible strength. There are some battles that are not won in a single day. They require the endurance of a warrior. Right now, you feel like your emotional and physical batteries are completely drained. You want to throw in the towel. You want to lay down and surrender to the fatigue. But this is exactly where my power takes over. When you have absolutely nothing left, I have everything you need. My strength is not merely designed to help you survive the storm. It is designed to help you walk on top of the roaring waves. Do not despise your weakness. Your breaking point is the exact coordinate where my infinite power manifests the strongest. Draw from my well today. Inhale my stamina. Fourth, I envelop you in a peace that defies human logic. The storm may still be raging outside your window. The bank account may still be empty. The medical report may still be frightening. But inside your soul, there will be an unbreakable fortress of tranquility. This is not the fragile peace the world offers, which depends on everything going perfectly. This is a supernatural stillness. It is the ability to sleep soundly in the middle of a battlefield. It is the quiet confidence that makes absolutely no sense to the people watching your life. When you truly surrender the outcome to me, anxiety suffocates, fear starves. Let my peace wash over your racing mind right now like a cool, gentle river. Finally, I help you through supernatural disruption. Hear me clearly. I do not only work through natural means, doctors, bankers, or logical progressions. I am the creator of the universe. I am not bound by the laws of physics or human economics. I specialize in the impossible. I still part seas. I still close the mouths of ravenous lions. I still command water to burst forth from solid rock. I can instantly remove a problem entirely overnight. I can orchestrate a miraculous turnaround that will leave your critics speechless and your own heart in absolute awe. Expect my intervention. Look for the miraculous. Do not limit me to what your human mind can comprehend, because I am about to do something utterly mind-blowing in your life. I know that your pain is not a vague, abstract concept. Your struggle has a name. It has a specific address in your daily life. Let me speak directly to the specific mountains that are standing in your way today. If you are staring down the terrifying barrel of financial ruin, listen to the voice of your provider. The economy of this world fluctuates, but the economy of heaven is eternally secure. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know exactly what you need to pay your bills, to feed your family, to keep a roof over your head. I am capable of opening sudden doors of opportunity that no corporate executive can shut. I can multiply your resources in ways that defy mathematical logic. Do not allow the spirit of poverty or financial panic to dictate your worth or steal your joy. Be a faithful steward of what you have. Keep your hands open in generosity and watch how I command provision to hunt you down. If you are battling a crisis of health and the physical body, know that I am the great physician. I knitted every cell, every vein, and every organ inside your mother's womb. There is no disease too aggressive, no medical diagnosis too terminal, and no chronic pain too stubborn for my healing hand. Healing may manifest in the blink of an eye, or it may flow progressively through the wisdom of medical professionals. Regardless of the method, I am the ultimate source of your restoration.
Do not accept the finality of a doctor's report as the final word over your life. My report says that by my stripes, you are healed. Entrust your fragile body to me, just as you entrust your eternal soul. If you are bleeding from fractured relationships, know that I am the master of reconciliation. I see the betrayal that broke your heart. I see the toxic dynamics that have drained your energy. I can soften the most hardened, stubborn hearts. I can breathe life back into marriages that look like absolute graveyards. Pray for those who have hurt you, not to manipulate them, but to release yourself from the poison of bitterness. And hear me, I will also give you the bold wisdom to know when to walk away from tables where you are no longer being served respect and love. I will guide you to your true tribe. If you are paralyzed at the crossroads of major decisions, terrified of making a catastrophic mistake, know that I am your ultimate compass. You will not miss your destiny. If your heart is sincerely seeking my will, I will orchestrate your footsteps. I will close the wrong doors so forcefully that you cannot open them, and I will illuminate the right path so brightly that you cannot miss it. Even if you take a wrong turn out of innocent ignorance, my grace is so vast that I will reroute your mistake and weave it into a masterpiece. If you are drowning in the void of a lack of purpose, feeling invisible and irrelevant, let me remind you of your divine design. You are not a biological accident. You are not just taking up space on this earth. The very fact that there is breath in your lungs today proves that your earthly assignment is not yet finished. Your purpose is not lost. It is waiting to be uncovered in my presence. As you walk with me, your specific calling will unfold beautifully, chapter by chapter. And if you are chained by the heavy ghosts of your past, know that I am the Redeemer of time. The abuses you suffered, the catastrophic mistakes you made, the shame that whispers to you in the mirror, none of it is beyond my ability to cleanse and restore. You are not defined by the worst thing you have ever done, nor are you defined by the worst thing that was ever done to you. You are defined by my love. I take the ashes of your ruined yesterdays and I mold them into a crown of dazzling beauty for your tomorrow. Bring every single one of these specific mountains to me. Lay them at the altar of my grace. The heavier they are, the more I want them. Let me step into the arena of your life.
I have laid out my promises before you, spreading them out like an infinite banquet in the presence of your enemies. My power is fully loaded, ready to detonate against the strongholds holding you captive. But in this divine kingdom, miracles are a partnership. I do not force my deliverance upon a closed heart. You have a sacred role to play in the architecture of your breakthrough. Let me give you the 5 non-negotiable keys to unlock the vault of heaven. The first key is the catalyst of asking. Do not assume that just because I am omniscient, you are exempt from vocalizing your need. I already know every tear that has stained your pillow, but I require you to ask. Why? Because the act of asking is the rawest manifestation of faith. It strips away your human pride. It is a bold declaration that you cannot fix this broken machine on your own. Open your mouth. Be audaciously specific. Name the mountain. Name the debt. Name the disease. When you ask, you are legally authorizing heaven to invade your earthly circumstances. The second key is the anchor of absolute trust. Asking without trusting is merely throwing empty words into the wind. You must tether your soul to the absolute certainty that I am both willing and able to rescue you. Trust means completely relinquishing your obsession with the how and the when. You want a logical spreadsheet of how I will save you, but I am asking you to step off the ledge into the invisible arms of my grace. Trust is a brutal, daily choice. When the medical report screams doom, when the bank account mocks you, you must look death in the face and say, I trust my God. Keep choosing it minute by minute until your faith eclipses your fear. The third key is the courage of blind obedience. When I illuminate the next step for you, you must take it, even if your legs are shaking. My deliverance frequently rides on the wheels of your obedient action. I am the one who violently parts the raging sea, but you are the one who has to walk through the muddy corridor between the walls of water. Sometimes my instructions will sound completely counterintuitive. I may tell you to be silent when you want to scream, to give when you are bankrupt, or to rest when you want to hustle. Obey anyway. I possess the aerial view of your destiny. You only see the dirt in front of your feet. The fourth key is the crucible of holy waiting. I will save you, but I will rarely do it on your hurried, panic-driven timeline. Human nature despises the waiting room. You want microwave solutions, but I am crafting a masterpiece. Delay is never denial. When the answer seems agonizingly slow, it is because I am actively orchestrating moving parts you cannot comprehend. I am shifting the hearts of kings, realigning resources, and most importantly, I am refining you. Do not abort the miracle by trying to force a premature birth. The waiting room is where your spiritual muscles are forged in fire. The fifth key is the defiance of perseverance. Do not dare surrender 5 minutes before the miracle arrives. The adversary of your soul operates on exhaustion. He wants to wear you down so severely that you drop your sword right at the finish line. He knows that if you push through one more day, one more agonizing night, one more desperate prayer, you will shatter his kingdom. Stand your ground. Dig your heels into the dirt. Your breakthrough is breathing down your neck. The dawn is about to break. You might be asking in the silent corridors of your mind, why should I trust you with the shattered, bleeding pieces of my life? Hear the answer echoing from the foundations of the earth, because I love you with a ferocity that human logic cannot process. My love for you is not transactional. It is not based on your flawless performance, your church attendance, or your ability to keep it all together. You are my masterpiece. You are my child. I will never stand on the sidelines and passively watch you drown. My fierce protective love compels me to dive into the raging waters to pull you out. Look at my historical track record. I am the God of Abraham, the God of David, the God who has consistently defended the defenseless for thousands of generations. I have never dropped a soul that truly leaned on me, and I am certainly not going to start with you. I have all authority in the physical and spiritual realms. Your problem, which looks like a towering Goliath to you, is merely a grain of sand on the scales of my infinite power. Because of this undeniable truth, I want you to engage in the art of instant surrender right now. I do not want you to wait until this video ends. I want you to experience a physical and spiritual release at this exact second. First, pour out the poison. I want you to envision taking every anxious thought, every terrifying what if, every bitter resentment, and every ounce of shame and vocalizing it to me. Do not censor your pain. I am not intimidated by your anger, your doubts, or your messy emotions. Empty your soul before me completely. Second, physically transfer the weight. Right where you are sitting or standing, I want you to physically open your hands, palms facing upward. Imagine the crushing burden you have been carrying for months or years, sitting right there in your palms. Now consciously lift it towards the sky and declare out loud, Lord, this mountain is too heavy for my human spine. I am officially resigning as the general manager of the universe. I hand this impossible situation over to you. Third, inhale the atmosphere of heaven.
Close your eyes right now. Take a deep, deliberate breath in. Hold it for a moment. As you exhale, physically drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, release the tension coiled in your stomach. That tightness is the physical manifestation of trying to control the uncontrollable. Let it go. I am God on the horizon, and the warmth of my dawn is washing over your face right now. Fourth, weaponize your tongue with truth. The moment you release the burden, the enemy will try to hand it right back to you. You must block him with declarations of absolute truth. Speak it into the atmosphere of your room. My God is fighting my battles. The Creator of the universe is my personal defender. I will not drown in this storm, for the Master of the oceans is in my boat. Fifth, adopt a fierce expectation. Do not just sit back and wait for defeat. Sit up and scan the horizon for your rescue. Shift your emotional state from agonizing anxiety to electric anticipation. Look for the tiny miraculous shifts in your circumstances. Look for the unexpected phone call, the sudden peace, the closed door that forces you into a better hallway. You have fully surrendered. Your hands are finally empty of the burden, which means they are finally open to receive the miracle.
I intimately know the silent agony of the midnight hour. I see you when the noise of the day fades, when the distractions disappear, and the phantoms of your anxiety awaken to scream in the quiet of your bedroom. You stare at the ceiling, turning your mattress into a battlefield of what-ifs. You play out the worst-case scenarios, torturing yourself with futures that have not even happened. The night feels like a prison of overthinking, and insomnia has become your cruel companion. But hear the voice of the Creator who separated the light from the darkness. The night was not designed to torment you. It was designed for your restoration. I am the guardian of your soul, and I do not slumber nor sleep. Therefore, you do not have to stay awake guarding your problems. When you lie down tonight, I want you to officially hand me your shift. Visualize placing every terrifying thought, every unpaid bill, and every ounce of dread into my sovereign hands. Tell me out loud in the dark, Father, I am going to sleep now. You stay awake and fight this battle for me. Do not allow the enemy to hijack the gates of your mind before you close your eyes. Stop scrolling through screens of despair. Stop rehearsing your trauma. Instead, let the final echo in your mind be the unbreakable promises of God on the horizon. Ask me to invade your dreams. I can bypass your conscious worry and minister profound healing to your spirit while you are in deep slumber. I will give you the supernatural stamina you need for the morning light. And when the morning comes, do not let fear be the first voice you agree with. Before your feet even touch the floor, before the panic tries to rush back in, command your morning. Declare my goodness before you check your phone. Anchor your soul to my grace before you face the world. This daily rhythm of surrendering the night and commanding the dawn will break the psychological chains of your anxiety. Furthermore, I must speak to you about the sacred vessel you are living in. Your physical body is currently absorbing the intense shock waves of your mental and spiritual warfare. You are exhausted. The prolonged stress is deteriorating your immune system, knotting your muscles, and draining your vitality. Do not neglect the temple I have given you while you wait for your miracle. Healing your mind requires nurturing your body. You must drink water. You must eat nourishing food. You must move your limbs. You must ruthlessly carve out moments of rest. Refusing to care for your physical health is not a badge of spiritual honor. It makes you an easier target for the enemy's exhaustion tactics. Care for your physical self with the same gentleness I use to care for your soul. I also see how this immense pressure is fracturing your relationships. When you are bleeding internally from stress, it is incredibly easy to accidentally cut the people who are trying to bandage you. You become irritable, defensive, and isolated. Do not push away the lifelines I have placed around you. Your spouse, your children, your genuine friends, they are not the enemy. Do not make them the collateral damage of your pain. If you have lashed out in frustration, have the humility to apologize. Draw them close, but also guard your heart against those who only feed your panic with toxic, faithless advice. Walk exclusively with those who remind you of my power. It is time to pull back the curtain on your reality. You have been fighting this battle under the illusion that your problem is merely natural. You think your enemy is a difficult boss, a medical diagnosis, an unfair economy, or a broken system, but I need you to elevate your vision to the spiritual realm. There is a fierce, invisible war raging in the heavenlies, and the prize they are fighting over is your faith, your peace, and your ultimate destiny. The adversary exploits your earthly problems to launch spiritual assassinations. When the diagnosis comes, he whispers that I am punishing you. When the money runs out, he whispers that I have abandoned you. He is the architect of lies, the master of condemnation. He desperately wants to keep you paralyzed in your trauma because he knows exactly how dangerous you will become to the kingdom of darkness once you realize who you truly are. Recognize his voice and violently reject his lies. Whenever you hear the whisper of hopelessness, counterattack it with the roar of my truth. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a victory that was already accomplished on the cross. The adversary is a defeated, toothless lion trying to intimidate you with a terrifying roar. Do not cower. You carry the authority of the Most High God. When you speak my name into your darkest room, demonic forces tremble and scatter. You must also understand the divine alchemy of what you are enduring. I do not orchestrate evil, but I am the absolute master of redeeming it. I never waste a single tear you have cried. This agonizing season is not a pointless punishment. It is a profound preparation. You are in the furnace of affliction, but the fire is not going to consume you. It is only going to burn away the impurities, the pride, and the fragile dependencies you used to rely on. What is emerging from this fire is pure, unshakable, golden faith. You are going to step out of this trial as a completely different version of yourself. You will be stronger, wiser, infinitely more compassionate, and dangerously equipped with my power. You are developing a spiritual spine of steel that will serve you for the rest of your life. And hear this magnificent truth. Your current misery is actively being transformed into your future ministry. The very mountain you are climbing right now will soon become the stage from which you will declare my glory. When I finally split the sea and bring you out, your testimony will become a lifeline for someone else who is drowning in the exact same waters. People will look at your life and say, if God can do the impossible for them, maybe he can do it for me. So do not simply endure this problem with a defeated posture. Square your shoulders, lift your chin. You are a child of the ultimate King. You are not a helpless victim of your circumstances. You are a victorious warrior in training. The spiritual forces of heaven, legions of angels, are actively working in the unseen dimension to dismantle the traps set against you. The delay you are experiencing is simply heaven arranging the perfect alignment for your maximum blessing.
I must now teach you how to wield the most potent weapon in your spiritual arsenal, your own voice. The words that fall from your lips are not empty sounds vanishing into the air. They are containers of creative power. Your tongue is the rudder that steers the ship of your life. When you constantly vocalize your defeat, when you endlessly rehearse how terrible your situation is, and when you agree with the catastrophic predictions of your anxiety, you are actively prophesying your own destruction. You are giving the enemy legal authority to build a fortress in your mind. It is time to radically change your vocabulary. Stop being the narrator of your own demise. Stop complaining about the height of the mountain and start commanding the mountain to move in my name. Complaining merely magnifies the problem, but radical praise magnifies your God. When the pressures of life attempt to crush you, when the financial notices arrive, when the pain flares up, you must open your mouth and forcefully disrupt the atmosphere with my eternal truth. Faith and fear cannot occupy the exact same space in your mind. One will always starve the other. I want you to feed your faith until your fear dies of malnutrition. To do this, I am giving you a specific set of declarations. These are not merely positive affirmations, they are the absolute laws of heaven. I want you to stand up in your spirit and speak these words out loud. Let them echo in your room, in your car, and in your heart every single day until they become your reality. Declare this with unapologetic boldness. I declare that the Creator of the universe is my personal defender. He is actively working behind the scenes of my life right at this very second. Speak this into the atmosphere. I declare that my current suffering is strictly temporary, but the promises of my God are eternally secure. This storm will pass, but my foundation will remain. Shout this to your fears. I declare that I am never truly alone. The Lord is my shepherd, and he is standing with me like a mighty, terrifying warrior. No weapon forged against my physical body, my finances, or my family will ever prosper. Whisper this to your anxious soul. I declare that a supernatural peace, which completely defies human logic, is guarding my heart and mind. I refuse to bow down to panic. I trust the timing and the methods of my God. Proclaim this over your future. I declare that my destiny is brilliant. My God is turning my deepest pain into my greatest power. My breakthrough is not just a possibility, it is an absolute certainty, and it is rushing toward me right now. Let these declarations become the soundtrack of your daily life. When the enemy whispers a lie in your left ear, roar a truth out of your mouth. Your words are reshaping the invisible realm. You are aligning your earthly reality with the blueprint of heaven. Now, my precious child, quiet your heart, open your hands, and receive the decree I am speaking over your life. I am releasing a tidal wave of supernatural intervention into your exact situation right now. I command the heavy chains of anxiety, depression, and generational trauma to break off your mind, your body, and your bloodline in this very moment. I command the doors of provision that have been rusted shut to swing violently open. I speak supernatural acceleration into your waiting season. Where there has been barrenness, I command a harvest. Where there has been catastrophic loss, I command a sevenfold restoration. Where there has been relentless confusion, I breathe crystal clear divine revelation. I am stepping into the hospital rooms, the courtrooms, the boardrooms, and the living rooms of your life to advocate on your behalf. I rebuke the devourer that has tried to steal your joy and bankrupt your spirit. Your days of weeping in the shadows are officially coming to an end. You are crossing the threshold from the wilderness into the promised land. I seal your mind with an impenetrable peace. I renew your physical vitality so that you will mount up with wings like eagles. You will run through this final stretch and not grow weary. You are my beloved. You are my chosen warrior. I have never failed you, and I am certainly not going to fail you today. Look up, my child. The long, agonizing night is finally over.
I am your God on the horizon, and your glorious dawn has officially arrived. Receive your breakthrough. Receive your miracle. Go forward in absolute, unshakable victory. Amen. Soft, uplifting, cinematic music swells, bringing a deep sense of resolution and warmth. The voice transitions from the divine perspective to the warm, grounding voice of the channel host. Thank you for spending this sacred, quiet time with us here at God on the Horizon. If you are hearing these words, I want you to know that it is not an accident. You were meant to be here today to receive this exact message. Life will often throw us into storms so violent that we forget what the sun looks like. But the core truth we must always hold on to is this. The storm did not come into your life to destroy you. It came to wash away the fragile foundations, to clear your vision, and to prepare you for the magnificent new horizon God has waiting for you just ahead. The pain you are feeling today is simply the birth pangs of the purpose you will step into tomorrow. Do not let the enemy convince you that your story ends in the dark. The maker of the dawn is already painting the sky with the colors of your breakthrough. If this message brought comfort to your heavy heart, or if it gave you the strength to fight for one more day, we invite you to subscribe to God on the Horizon. By subscribing, you ensure that you always have a place of refuge, a sanctuary of peace to return to whenever the world gets too loud. Please take a moment to leave a comment below, share your prayer requests, or simply type, "I receive my dawn" as an act of faith. When we share our struggles and our victories, we build a global family of believers who carry each other through the fire. Like this video to help spread this message to someone else who might be sitting in the dark, desperately needing a lifeline today. Until we meet again, keep your eyes lifted, keep your faith anchored. The night is over and your new horizon is here. God bless you abundantly, and we will see you in the next video.